Bertram Benedict, Kiwanis Club of Albuquerque. Bertram Bert Henry Benedict passed away January 16th, 2025. His beautiful and talented artist wife, Mary, and his parents, Lena and Joseph, preceded him. His son, Herbert, and daughter, Cody, and four grandchildren, one grandson, and six great-grandchildren survive him. Bert was an active member in the AARP as volunteer manager of the AARP Albuquerque Information Center and was the first volunteer manager of the American Society's Albuquerque Relay for Life. He remained active with the relay until his passing. Bert took a lot of pride in his membership and the service of the Kiwanis Club of Albuquerque as distinguished president and distinguished lieutenant governor. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you did not do than the things you did. Sail away from the safe harbor. Catch the trade wind in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. Mark Twain. Bert was born in Denver, Colorado on January 9, 1935, and was a graduate of the University of Colorado in Boulder. Bert served in the military and was discharged as an Army captain. He and Mary were married in Colorado Springs, where they resided before locating to Albuquerque in the 60s with the Texaco Petroleum Company. He was an intricate part of the Operations Center project team, which reorganized the marketing department for Texaco. Later, he became one of the instigators of the Texaco Wellness Program, which remains active today. Mary passed away from cancer in 1985 after an extended illness. She was a magna cum laude graduate of the University of New Mexico and was an accomplished professional artist in the New Mexico community. Bert returned to Albuquerque in 1993. Some men see things as they are and ask why. Others dream of things that never were and ask why not. George Bernard Shaw. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Rest in peace, Bert. Robert Bob Brown, Kiwanis Club, Bullhead City, morning. Robert Bob Brown first joined Kiwanis when he lived in Southern California. When Bob and Rita moved to Bullhead City, there was one Kiwanis Club, and they joined it. As the Colorado River Noon Kiwanis Club grew, Bob and other members decided to form the Bullhead City Morning Kiwanis Club in 1994. Rita stayed with her Noon Club. Bob served as the fourth club president in 97-98. Over the years, Bob participated in almost every fundraising event. He also sat on our governing board for many years. He was first to make a list of supplies 2 pages long for most fundraising events. He coordinated so many fundraising events, no one in our club could keep count. And in his own way, he was very organized. If he was not in charge of a food event, he made sure they had everything they needed to have a successful event. Bob was quick to loan us his personal trailer for events, not to mention the fact that as we grew to owning 3 trailers, he allowed us to park them at his residence. Bob oversaw new memberships. When I joined Kiwanis, he took off work and took me to lunch and to fully explain the Kiwanis Club and the Morning Club. If I know Bob, he did not turn in the receipt. Bob often brought a joke to our morning meetings. and often read a Kiwanis Minute. Bob was committed to his family, his business, his church, and his community. Bob was a member of our local Contractors Association. Bob and Rita were involved with the Chamber of Commerce and committed to its success. Rita was a founding member of the Chambermaids, now called the Colorado River Women's Council. Bob was born July 26, 1942. Our Lord took him to be with his Rita on June 12, 2025. Jeannie Koenig, Capital Gateway Kiwanis Club. Jeannie still had many friends going all the way back to her elementary school days. Upon passing, Jeannie's neighbors, as a group, gathered to celebrate her friendship. They demonstrated that she was a valued member of the neighborhood. Jeannie was loyal, including a special loyalty to her stepson, Dorian. Dorian had an abiding interest in Native American art and artifacts. Jeannie left her collection to him. Jeannie also had her dog named Freeway that was a loyal companion. Jeannie's profession was in social services, and she had a bachelor's degree in social work. She was accredited by the Council of Social Work Accreditation. She belonged to the National Association of Social Workers and the Council of Social Education Work. She continued to take pertinent courses with the latest developments in her profession. She worked until the last few months of her life, until she began having serious medical issues. Jeannie did not work in the area of social work. She embodies the experience of supporting society. She was a Capital Gateway Kiwanis Club charter member. She served as the archivist for the club, taking pictures, keeping the club's history, supporting the board of directors, as well as the club's president. She gave generously of her time to Kiwanis projects by handing out dictionaries to fourth graders and monthly awards to outstanding students. She participated in Kiwanis Kids Day at the fair and donated generously to Kiwanis Kid Camp. Jeannie contributed funds to numerous organizations. After she passed, much of her mail came with a contributor since 1987 or earlier. Jeannie was a reader, having dozens of novels, books dealing with Southwest Indian life and art. Jeannie was a collector of American Indian art, facsimiles, and artifacts. She also collected beautiful artificial flowers, overtaking space, but that was Jeannie. William Bill Kent, Kiwanis Club of Corrales. William Kent, affectionately known as Willie or Bill, passed away peacefully at his home in Corrales, New Mexico on May 7, 2025 at the age of 78, surrounded by his wife Deborah and loved ones. He was known for his generosity and dedication to causes, and he believed in them, including Kiwanis. He was a member of the Kiwanis Club of Corrales for 16 years. Whether through charitable donations or personal acts of kindness, he constantly worked to uplift others and serve his community. Bill was a quiet man, but when you got to know him, he was funny. He was known as Radio Man in the club because he was in charge of the walkie-talkies for their harvest festival, and you were in big trouble if you didn't return them. He was a ham radio operator and helped kids in one of the charter schools make and race robots. he loved working with kids. Number 6. John Payne joined the Kiwanis Club of Corrales in February of 2017. John was the husband of Sandy, father of 3 girls, and grandfather of 4 grandchildren. John served in the Vietnam War with the Marine Corps and was awarded the Silver Star. After his service, he became a border guard in California and Arizona. John was full of life, and he loved to tease those that he loved. You knew his stories weren't true by the sparkle in his eyes. He will be missed greatly. Robert Douglas Gear, Kiwanis Club of Gilbert. Known and loved by all as Doug. We lost Doug on August 31st, 2024. We were introduced to Kiwanis by some friends from another fraternal group. We were invited to a couple of fundraising events, then a school assembly, when the Kiwanis Club surprised a student with a bike, helmet, and lock. That's when we learned what a Kiwanis aha moment really was. They joined the Kiwanis Club of Gilbert in January of 2014, ready to participate in planning service projects for the community of Gilbert. Doug enjoyed being a part of an active team serving the children of the Gilbert Public Schools. The work was sometimes tiring, but the rewards were unmeasurable. The children of the world are our future. Doug loves seeing the smiles and hearing the laughter of the children. The programs were mostly the elementary schools. To name a couple, stuffing and delivering several hundred backpacks to start the school year. Student of the month, with being told of the student being a boy or a girl and their height, purchasing a bicycle, helmet, and lock, then watching as the student was surprised during the school's assembly as their name was called and they were presented with a brand new bike. The Division 18 signature project, A Day of Play at Sunshine Acre Children's Home, was always a busy time with the planning, watching as the Key Club set up and ran the games. It was so organized, and lunch was always delicious. Attending interclubs, divisional meetings, district conventions, you meet so many new friends, some becoming family. You learn new ideas and expand your service skills. Doug's first officer position was as a director, followed by vice president, president, then past president, and president for 2 years. Doug was serving as president at the time of his passing. Doug is deeply missed by his family, his Kiwanis family, and so many friends. John Juan Hernandez, president of Mount Franklin Kiwanis and founder of nonprofit Exchange and Donor Charm. It is with heavy hearts that we share the passing of our dear friend and visionary founder, John Hernandez. John was not only the creator force behind the nonprofit Exchange and Donor Charm, but also a passionate advocate for the nonprofit community and current president of the Mount Franklin Kiwanis Club. His unique approach, generous spirit, and unwavering commitment to helping others made a lasting impact on countless organizations and individuals. While we mourn this incredible loss, they are comforted by the outpouring of love and support from the community John so deeply loved. A dedicated group of partners and colleagues are coming together to honor his legacy and ensure that his one-of-a-kind offering and the services remain available to nonprofits in need. This team will lead the search for a permanent director who will carry on John's work and vision for the community. We want to ensure you that the nonprofit Exchange and Donor Charm and the Mount Franklin Kiwanis will move forward. Each of us are committed to ensuring services are maintained with the highest level of professionalism and commitment and passion. We extend our heartfelt gratitude for the continued support and patience as we navigate this new chapter. John's light and legacy will continue to shine through the work he so passionately gave. Ralph Bud Davies Gardner, Kiwanis Club of Prescott. Bud passed away February 23, 2025 in Prescott, Arizona at the age of 91. Known and loved for his strong work ethic, charitable activities, and keen sense of humor, Ralph was born on November 8, 1933 in Imperial Valley, California. As a youth, he earned an Eagle Scout Merit Badge. Before graduating from the University of Utah with a degree in political science, he met his future wife, Joyce. In September of 1955, Ralph was commissioned as second lieutenant in the United States Air Force, prompting a mile-long trek to a rural phone booth to ask Joyce for her hand in marriage. He later joined the 945th Troop Carrier Squadron in Ogden, Utah, earning a Wings qualification badge and accumulating over 1,000 hours of flying time in the C-119G aircraft. Ralph left the United States Air Force Reserve with the rank of Major and established his own insurance company in Salt Lake City, Utah. He and Joyce eventually relocated to Prescott, where he built a home together in 2013. Ralph was an active member for 43 years of the Kiwanis Club of Bellingham, Washington, and the Kiwanis Club of Prescott. Bud was also a Hickson Fellow, a lifelong tennis player, a student of military history, and the American West. A collector of vintage radios, and a sideline restorer of antique cars. He is survived by his wife of 69 years, Joyce, his daughters Elizabeth, Catherine, and 3 grandchildren, Carly, Harley, and Pierce, and 3 great-grandchildren. Timothy Joseph McShane, T-Bone, Kiwanis Club of Prescott. Tim passed away on September 19, 2024, after a courageous year-long battle with pancreatic cancer. He maintained a sense of humor and gratitude to the end. Tim was born in Phoenix, Arizona in 1959 as the 7th of 8 children. He attended Northern Arizona University, where he became student body vice president, and after graduating, went on to become involved and an active member of the alumni. Tim moved his family to Prescott, Arizona in 1993 to start his insurance business. He quickly became an active and well-loved member of the community. Tim joined the Kiwanis Club of Prescott in 1996 and was an involved member for over 27 years, serving as both auction chair and club president. Many in the community will remember him as a fixture during the Kiwanis auction, including the year he shaved his head on live television during the auction. He cited it was one of the best decisions of his life, not because he raised a lot of money for the children of the community, but because he said, "I look better bald." Tim also had a notable impact on the community through various other outlets, including as Grand Marshal of the 4th of July Kiwanis Kitty Parade, and called weekly bingo at the Arizona Pioneers Home. Tim is survived by his 4 daughters, Michaela, Kelly, Brianna, and Lorne, and his 4 grandchildren, Annabella, Ryan, Nora, and Eloise. Tim's family and friends will remember him as a shining example of joy, generosity, and humor, always ready with a smile, and a joke could be brighten anyone's day. He brought beauty to the world through his creative and storytelling. He gave freely of his time, resources, and unique gifts, and he was always available for those in need. He had an extraordinary ability to make people loved, and feel appreciated. He had a way of finding joy in the everyday and reminding us to all do the same. Philip Donen, Kiwanis Club of Rio Rancho. Philip Donen, 85, affectionately known as Phil to his friends and loved ones, passed away peacefully on February 23, 2024, in Bosque Farms, New Mexico. His journey began in Malden, Massachusetts on December 25, 1938. He enlisted in the U.S. Air Force in 1957. He served in the United States Air Force for an impressive 32 years, rising to the rank of major. Phil's service was distinguished by numerous accolades and decorations earned during his tenure. Phil's commitment to education was evident through his academic achievements. After graduating from Tucson Senior High School in 1956, he pursued higher education at the University of Maryland, where he earned his undergraduate degree and then a master's from Ball State University. He later returned to the Southwest and attended the University of New Mexico, where he obtained his MS in special education. He was a beloved school teacher who dedicated his life to shaping young minds with care and compassion. He taught special education at Corrales Elementary and Stapleton Elementary in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. He retired after 20 years. Phil was deeply involved in various volunteer organizations that focused on children's welfare and community enrichment. He generously contributed his time and efforts to the Security Police Association, the Masonic Sandoval Lodge, Eastern Star, the Kiwanis Club of Rio Rancho, and the Albuquerque International Balloon Festival. Phil was a very dedicated member of the Rio Rancho Kiwanis Club. He was a longtime participant in the Balloon Festival and the Sunday is Fun Day event. He was always sure the Masons had a booth at the Sunday Fun Day, and he was sure to bring a big jar of pickles. Phil also liked to share things that he purchased at the base, things like pocket knives and medals. Phil will be dearly missed by his surviving family members, his daughter Diana, sister Paula, grandson Henry, and wife Melinda, granddaughter Ashley, and great-granddaughter Ava, and great-grandson Henry. David R. Groves, Kiwanis Club of Scottsdale. David R. Groves passed away on June 9th, 2025. David was a family man through and through. He was the cool and fun uncle that always spoke fondly of his family dinners. He enjoyed traveling around the world. On more than one occasion, he packed up his trailer and traveled the United States with a travel log complete with receipts and mileage. David was a compassionate Christian man who served his country as a leader of his community and in his faith. Dave was never brash or boastful and always possessed a good demeanor, and he was well liked. He was also well dressed and perfectly mannered, a true distinguished gentleman. Dave joined the Kiwanis Club in April of 1978 and served as the Kiwanian Club of Scottsdale treasurer from 2007 to 2024. He remained active serving his community for more than 46 years until he passed. In September 1950, he joined the Air Force. His first assignment was at Shepherd Air Force Base in Wichita Falls, Texas. Later in his Air Force career, he was stationed at Langley Air Force Base and then Luke Air Force Base, which brought him to Arizona so he could be closer to his family. David graduated with honors from the University of Arizona with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. Prior to graduating, he worked summers for the Salt River Project, where he worked in the field. The Salt River Project hired David full-time in 1956. Later in his career, David moved to street lighting and then customer service until he retired in 1989. As part of Kiwanis, he and Mary Jo cooked, delivered, and served meals for the Ronald McDonald House for many years. David also took a group of mentally challenged students to a ball game for spring training every year. Dave would always greet Mary Jo with, "What can I do for you today, my dear?" Dave believed that helping others was imperative, and wouldn't this be a great world if everyone would ask, "What can I do for you today, my dear?" Patty Wiley DeBlaze, Kiwanis Club of Sun City West. Patty Wiley DeBlaze, Sun City West Kiwanis member for 12 years, passed away on March 3, 2025. She was born September 12, 1943. While a member of the club, there was nothing Patty didn't step in or help when positions or board seats were open. Her formal positions included being past president, active in Bring Up Grades, and Reading is Fundamental. She participated in buying books for the 3 schools supported by the club and their Reading is Fundamental program. She even played Mrs. Claus at one of the schools for their Christmas event. Awards for Patty include Sentimental Award, Outstanding President, and Perfect Attendance. She will be missed by all who knew her and had an impact. She also served as First Lady to the Southwest District in 2014 to 2015, when her husband Joe was the Southwest Kiwanis District Governor. Severina M. Sarah Brown, Kiwanis Club of Tonto Basin. During COVID, the Kiwanis Club of the Tonto Basin celebrated Severina's 100th birthday. The whole community was invited to watch and participate in the celebration parade in her honor. Sarah was born January 8, 2021, and left our Kiwanis Club family November 20th, 2024. Sarah was the first woman to be a member of our local club. She also was the first female president of our club. Her favorite pastime was working at Camp Kiwanis with the Builders Club, as well as many other conventions as she could. You can see that from her memorial jacket and pins that hang in the Kiwanis Club Community Center that she loved Kiwanis. She is greatly missed. Viola Vi Hartman, Kiwanis Club member of Alamogordo, First Lady of the Southwest District of Kiwanis, 1990 to 1991. Viola Vi Hartman was born in Caldwell, Texas on September 9, 1934, and passed away June 16, 2025. Vi was an accomplished woman. Her career spanned 30 years, and after retirement, Vi devoted her time to be a caregiver for her beloved husband, Chuck Hartman, of 38 years, who passed away shortly before her. She was an exceptional person, a devoted, loving mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. She actively served her community, and she loved every minute of it. She had a sparkle in her eye, and she treated everyone with kindness and respect. Vi joined Kiwanis on May 11, 1988, and was a member of the Kiwanis Club of Alamogordo for 37 years. Along with being the First Lady of the Southwest District, she held many high-level offices, including Lieutenant Governor and Treasurer for the Southwest District. She was a George Hickson Fellow, as well as being awarded 2 Kachinas and Kiwanian of the Year. She organized a prayer breakfast in the Kiwanis Club annually. She was officially and unofficially the sweetheart of the club, and she is sorely missed. Colonel Charles Chuck Hartman, past Southwest Governor, 1990 to 1991, and member of the Kiwanis Club of Alamogordo. Colonel Charles Chuck Hartman, Jr., U.S. Air Force retired, was born in Valley City, North Dakota on January 5, 1930, and passed away November 13, 2024. He received his B.S. in education from North Dakota State University, Fargo, North Dakota. He was a faithful member of our Kiwanis Club for 51 years and joined Kiwanis on June 4, 1973. During that time, he held many offices in Kiwanis, including Governor of the Southwest District, Kiwanian of the Year, and Lieutenant Governor prior to that. He was instrumental in launching several new Kiwanis clubs throughout the southwest New Mexico area. Chuck was a champion for Kiwanis, and everywhere he went, he tried to recruit members. As one of the original members, he helped start the tradition of the Kiwanis Club annual pancake breakfast. Chuck was a George Hickson Fellow, as well as being awarded Kachina. Chuck lived and breathed Kiwanis. He gave selflessly to his community and found immense joy in the children and his grandchildren. He left behind a true legacy, and his unwavering commitment to Kiwanis will never be forgotten. Lori Schultz, Kiwanis Southwest District Executive Director and member of the Kiwanis Club of Roswell, New Mexico. Lori Schultz, a force of nature who left an incredible mark on everyone she met, passed away suddenly on Friday, March 21, 2025, after a short illness. A talented singer, actor, dancer, and stuntwoman, Lori was also a devoted animal lover. She was born in Lorain, Ohio, and her life was a testament to her passions, from her master's degree in childhood education from Kent State University to her theater degree. Lori was a woman of her word, who always stood for what was right. Her steadfast beliefs in God, truth, and following the rules were the core of her character. She often said, "Nice is just nice. It's not right. It's just nice." A phrase many can still hear her saying. While her outspoken nature could be challenging for some, it was rooted in her deep integrity and desire to do things right. Before settling in Roswell, New Mexico, Lori spent many years in Indiana, where she worked at the Warsaw Performing Arts Center and was a dedicated member of the Kiwanis Club. At Kiwanis headquarters in Indiana, Greg said he often joked that she came from the mothership. In 2016, she moved to Artesia, New Mexico, to become the executive director of the Artesia Arts Council and transferred her Kiwanis membership to the Roswell Kiwanis Club. Lori brought a wealth of knowledge and powerful desire to help others and serve her community. She was instrumental in many fundraising projects, including the all-inclusive park at Roswell. During her 2019 to 2020 term as president of the Roswell Kiwanis Club, she skillfully led the organization through the pandemic. In 2024, she became the executive director of the Southwest District of Kiwanis, where she immediately began her work examining every detail and connecting loose ends. Her positive outlook was a constant source of strength, and she often encouraged others with her favorite phrase, "Stay positive. We got this. It's all a part of God's plan." Her loss is a profound shock, but the district is committed to preserving her legacy by continuing the work she started. Lori had a great love for animals, often saying she preferred them to people. She had 3 horses, Wyatt, Red, and Roy, and 2 dogs. She recently adopted a 3-legged dog who quickly became her constant companion and slept with her every night. She loved her animals as if they were her children. Lori is survived by her brothers, Michael and Barry Schultz, as well as 4 nieces and nephews. Her spirited personality, infectious energy, and beautiful laugh will be deeply missed. This is a profound and permanent loss, and we will always remember the mark she left on this world. morning star. Wake up where the clouds are far beyond.